What is good? What is good? What is Gucci? Courtney IG, and I'm back again. And this time I'm here to discuss the highly anticipated and long overdue third studio album from J Hus, Beautiful and Brutal Yard. What a mouthful. Also known as Baby. So guys, before I even contemplate diving into this project, I have to set the scene. We have patiently awaited this album for 3 years. The follow-up to the masterpiece Big Conspiracy, which I have done a review reaction also for Common Sense. If you want to check it out, links will be below anyway. And since Big Conspiracy, there has been a lot of twists and turns, from Afro swing to drill, and now what seems back to like rap. Hopefully we will get more Afro swing, taking us back to the balance really of like 016. So 016 in the genre where we had Afro swing, we had drill, we had grime also, and so on. So the heights J Hus has set for himself with Common Sense and Big Conspiracy has put the expectation for me on this project really high. Really high. So let me not even delay anymore and let me dive into my thoughts. So the album opens up with Go, which takes a little minute to drop, much like this album. And Hus is not holding back in telling stories of being rushed in a mosque, prison, massive moment in the O2 where he came out of prison and he was performing with Drizzy Drake on his release from prison. Huge moment. It was an explosive intro, which then brings us into a vibrancy segment, you know, of palm trees, being under the palm trees, let's say, with Massacre, and the tune of the summer so far with Who Told You to start us off. So with Who Told You, guys, I knew from the first listen that this song was going to be a song which was going to live for a minute. It was definitely going to live for a minute, even though I had my reservations with Drizzy verse, which has now grown on me. I've seen the mashups where people are putting other Drake verses, they're putting other artists. I was part of that camp. I was, cheering along with those guys. But I feel like now I've gone past that, where I'm not saying, why didn't he use Burna Boy? Why didn't he use Wiz? Why didn't he just do it by himself? Because he does 2 great verses on here. And who really says no to a Drake feature, especially when it blends well. Speaking of blending well, guys, the cultural blend between the Gambian and Nigerian link up with Naira Marley and Militarian just feels so authentic. It feels like, man, it gives me that nostalgic vibe of listening to Naira Marley back in the days with the Harlem Spartans tune, Money on the Road. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go research. That's going to be the new one for now, which I haven't listened to for ages. But yeah, I haven't even seen the video for this song. I know it came out on Thursday. I haven't watched it, but it just feels like sand. So I hope there's some sand in that video somewhere, giving me that vibe, matching up with what I'm hearing. So then we get an unexpected change from what I was anticipating with the Georgia feature, Baby. Woo, nice body. Asala Baby does the unexpected with Georgia Smith, sitting so nicely on the drill R&B infusion, taking us into the mindset of trying to get below the surface of a girl, beyond the looks, and getting into know the character which sits behind that. It's very smooth, but very intense at the same time. So he's also taking us through the stages of a relationship, as coming out of the relationship, breaking up with that person, but still wanting that person, angry, denial, etc., etc. And you know what really complements this later on, which sequentially could have been earlier in the track list? My Baby. It almost feels like, oh yeah, I'm back outside again. That's how My Baby feels when you put it next to Nice Body. Great song though, Nice Body. I like the vibe, like the energy. And yeah, We return to a more familiar territory of production, more like Afrobeat, Afro swingish with masculine, which very much fits the title. It feels very masculine. It feels very alpha male-ish, let's say. Standing firm in yourself against enemies, against doubters, bad mind, and Burna Boy very much is on the offensive here. Like it's not your usual Burna Boy. It's burn. You want to burn some boy, you know. That's the kind of energy I like the flip as well that Hus does here when he's talking about making a killing. And then he pauses and then say, in the disco. I like making a killing, but in a disco or something like that, he says. I like that. It's like two sides of a coin, like wanting to kill the industry, but, you know what I'm saying, Smokey on the street still with the war stuff. And it continues with Come Look, that kind of, it feels like a hip-hop freestyle, like what he would let loose back in the day infrequently on his feed. And then a bit later, we get the most hyped spoken about song Cream, which I think I heard loads of snippets of that with CB. Hustler is firing off every single clip of the bim bim upon them, and it's crazy. Yeah, I just had to do it. It's better than it's crazy. That's what I wanted to say. And I like it more than Killy with Popcaan, because I don't want to hear Popcaan on drill ever again. I'm sorry, Popcaan, if you see this, just leave the drill alone. It doesn't really work for you. Give us the dance or give us the Afro beats, man. Why couldn't we just get Burna Boy, Afro beats, Georgia kind of doing her thing, and then a Popcaan dance? So you know what I mean? That's what I would have liked, but we didn't get it. But none of these songs are standing up to me substance-wise on No Denying. You know I spoke about that in my review reaction of Big Conspiracy. It's going to be in the comments. It's going to be somewhere. Click on that. Go watch it if you want to watch it. I respect how with Cream, though, he's taking us back to the production of drill, how it was in like 2015, 2016, when there wasn't really much dancing around. There wasn't really much catchy hooks. But it kind of just feels like a freestyle, much like a lot of these kind of drill songs on this body of work do feel like to me. The one thing about Hustler, the Usnaolic, as he calls himself, you cannot box him into a tempo, you can't box him into a genre, and you can't even box him in on a subject or the words which he uses. He will come up with his own dictionary. He's got his own Hustler dictionary. I can't even think of a word for it, but he's got his own one. He's got J Hus dictionary. He creates his own thing. And, you know, Alien, Cucumber was a example of that of the past, but Alien Girl is one of today. Alien Girl, I don't know why. As soon as I heard that, I thought this guy's a genius. That's it. He's a genius. It's Kanye. It's giving me Kanye feel. Like this guy knows how to just make a song out of absolutely something random title-wise, and it will just stick in your head. And like after that, the next thing that will come into your head, which came to my head, was visuals. I see a visual with the lyrics, because he's painting it so well. He's taking me into space, and he's chirping up a gal in space, and she's from Saturn or whatever he said. This is just different. Like they need to get a green screen with a whole solar system and Hus just doing his thing, and it's just gonna be some galactic stuff. It's gonna be out of this world, literally. They shouldn't let this one slip under the radar, because I like it a lot. So back on the words, guys. This is the first time I've heard Hus speak in his native tongue so much. Somebody else can point me out an example, but I don't think I've heard it before. And Come Gully Bun, Gambian president, I have no idea what he's saying, for the most part. But that's an untapped market. For an artist of his stature to be talking in what I can only assume is his native tongue, that's going to appeal to a whole different market. And him doing that is going to draw them in. So, different vibe. If he taps into that even more, he's going to corner in that market even more. And that might be something later on. So, to wrap up, guys, Hus has definitely been playing chess with us as fans for a while, for a minute. Uploading random pictures and deleting them. Uploading snippets years ago, deleting them. And even going completely off grid, you know. As he says in the standout closing track, he just knows what he's doing. The game that I'm playing, you don't know how to play. The game that I'm playing, you don't know how to play. We can't play the same game like Hus. He knew what he was doing all along. That's what he's giving me, the energy. He had a thought. He knew he had to get this one out. So Hus didn't disappoint on this album. Here, he went somewhere a bit darker. He leaned a bit into the darker side, the villain side, the Joker type energy with the drill stuff and the aggression. But then he didn't unbalance it. The project sonically has a balance. He knows how to construct something that makes you bob your head along, that makes you, you know, when you hear it, you get some enjoyment. You know? Yes, he knows how to do that. And it actually aligns very much with the title, the vibe of this album. It very much aligns with the artwork. It's not always rosy. The place is on fire. This is a crack house or a drug, whatever, bando, whatever. And it comes through in here. So it makes sense. What would be interesting to know is when was the time period of these songs were made? Because I know some of them are kind of old now. Like maybe 1 or 2 years I've heard snippets of some of these songs. So it kind of feels like some of them were made in batches. Like the drill one was made in batches and da-da-da-da. So then it's kind of like, not mismatched, but it's like I can tell that this was put together, not made together, if you see what I mean. And I guess that's kind of how albums work anyway. But yeah, I feel like it's not the commercial album that J5 mentioned. It's not that. But I feel like given he was away for 3 years, he could have did even more. He could have been even more transparent. And like he is on Playing Chess and, you know, some other places where he's kind of telling you little small bits, but it's not really time bound. It's not like I've been away for da-da-da-da, I'm back da-da-da-da. Like, I want to hear that from J Hus now. I want to, like, you've been away for so long. I need more than just tracks now from you because you're that caliber of artist. You know what I mean? Let me get into your thinking, your mind. Maybe he doesn't even want to do that, but he has the capability to do that. And he can make an album which is less scattered than this one is in parts, not throughout. I really enjoyed it, but in parts it could have been tighter, watertighter. Give it you, because you put that bar, as I said, the expectation sky high for me, sky high. So I expected something else. So this is why I'm judging it in this way. Top 3. My Baby, Playing Chess, Nice Body, 8.3 out of 10 for me. Doesn't mean it was bad, but this is J Hus. This is the scoring that I'm giving now is J Hus scoring. It's not every day. This is J Hus scoring. So you know what to do, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, inspire, enrich.